Hello and thank you for joining me for Lesson 2 on the Introduction to Microsoft Word 2010 version with JAWS Screen Reader. In this lesson, we're going to open Microsoft Word again, type up some text, save the file, and also investigate some of the commands on the ribbons. Let's begin. Press the Windows key on the keyboard.
Menu, search box, edit, type text in this edit field or press up or down arrow to move through items.
Press the down arrow to select Microsoft Word.
Microsoft Word 2010 sub-menu 1 of 12,
Press the Enter key to select.
Enter, leaving menu, cancel button to activate, press space.
Now I will type the days of the week. After I've typed the days of the week, I will press the Enter key. Ready?
Monday, enter. Tuesday, enter. Wednesday, enter. Thursday, enter. Friday, enter. AR. Saturday. S. Is. Second, February, enter.
So now for me to be able to read what I have just typed, I'm going to press Control and Home. This means I hold down the Control key on my keyboard. It's often located at the bottom left-hand corner of your keyboard. Not always, but you can always check this first. It's called the Control key. Listen as I press Control and Home.
Top of 5, Monday.
Instantly, the cursor is now brought up to the very top of the file. I'll do Control and End.
Bottom of 5, blank.
I will do Control and Home again.
Top of 5, Monday.
Control and Home means that you hold down the Control key and tap the Home key. The Home key will always bring you back to the beginning of a row. But if you want to go back to the beginning of a document, hold down the Control key as you type Home. Now let's have a listen at JAWS reading what's currently typed on screen. To do this, we press the Insert and Down arrow key. Ready? Insert and Down arrow.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the 2nd of February.
So now I will use Control and Home to get back to the beginning of the top of the file again. Now at this point I would like to save my work before I go any further. To do this, I give it the save command. There are a number of ways to give the computer the save command, but for now I'm going to use Control and S. This means I hold down my Control key and type letter S.
Control S. Save as dialog. File name edit combo. Monday 0 items. To set the value, use the arrow keys or type the value. Alt N.
So as you can see, JAWS has announced that the Save As dialog box is currently on screen and the file name is Monday. Well, we will type exercise 1 excuse me, for the name of this file instead of leaving it as Monday. So let me type in exercise 1.
Exercise 1.
Now I'm going to press the Enter key to save.
Press View, Edit.
So to save a file that you're currently working on screen, you press Control and S, type the name of the file, followed by the Enter key. So now we would like to make some changes to the file. With my cursor at the top of the screen, I'm now going to highlight the text Monday. Before you can make changes to any text on screen, you must select them. This lets the computer know that you're about to make changes to only this particular piece of text. So in order to change anything that you have already typed, you must first select it. This is known as highlighting or selecting. To select the text Monday, we hold down the Shift key, which is just above the Control key on your keyboard. So hold down your Shift key and use the right arrow key and listen.
Selected. D selected. A selected. Y selected.
So now I know that Monday is selected. Now to apply a much darker text to that, in other words, it's as if you are listening to music. You have heavier notes and lighter notes. For visual text, you can have heavier text and lighter text. I want to make this heavier, so I'm going to bold the text. Apply bold to the text. And to do this, I simply press Control and B.
Bold on.
Bold on. You can hear it. It bolded the text. It made it louder and darker and more appealing and more, it stands out more to anybody who's visually going to look at this. So now I'm going to use my down arrow to remove that highlight from the text.
Tuesday.
And again, I'm going to use my home key, excuse me,
Home.
to go back. When you hear D, the louder sound, of course, that's an initial capital letter. So JAWS will announce the T in a different tone to say that this is a capital T. I'm going to highlight Tuesday again. So remember, we hold down the Shift key and use the right arrow key at the same time. Listen.
T selected. U selected. E selected. S selected. D selected. A selected. Y selected.
Now, to use the ribbons this time on the Microsoft Word 2010 version, remember in our previous lesson, you first of all tap the Alt key, which is the key to the left of your space bar.
Upper ribbon. Home tab. 1 of 8. To change ribbons, use left or right arrows. To navigate the current ribbon, use tab or shift tab. H.
So H is the current ribbon. I'm going to type H for home. Next, I'm going to type FF for the font style. FF. 2 Fs.
HFF. Lower ribbon. Font colon edit. Him. To move through the controls on this ribbon, use tab or shift tab or use the arrow keys. Alt followed by HFF.
Now I must use the down arrow to go through the list of font styles that are available to me in the program. And these names that you hear now, these are the font style names.
Agency FD, Ataroni, Algerian, Amiens, Andalus.
And I'm going to come down to Arial Black.
Examenu, Persia, Arabic typesetting, Arial Black.
So this is the one that I would like to use. So I press my Enter key.
Leaving menu bar, print view, edit.
Now I'm going to use the down arrow to come right off that again, and the home key to go back to the beginning of Wednesday.
Home. W.
And again, you could hear the high pitch for W, telling me that W is a capital letter. Again, I'm going to hold down my Shift key, use my right arrow key to select Wednesday, because I want to make changes to the word Wednesday. Ready?
W selected. E selected. D selected. N selected. E selected. S selected. D selected. A selected. Y selected.
Again, I would like to apply a different font style, which changes the whole look of the text, and also I would like to change the font size to make it grander and bigger. So the first step, press the Alt key to the left of the space bar.
Upper ribbon, home tab, 1 of 8. To change ribbons, use left or right arrows. To navigate the current ribbon, use tab or shift tab. H.
So now I'm going to use H to navigate the home ribbon. And at this point, I'm now going to use FF again to change the font style.
HFF, lower ribbon, font colon edit. Him. To move through the controls on this ribbon, use tab or shift tab or use the arrow keys. Alt followed by HFF.
Next, I'm going to press my down arrow. And down arrow again to go down through the list of font styles that are available to me. This time, I'm going to look for Arial Narrow.
Ataroni, Algerian, Amiens, Andalus, Examenu, PC, Persia, Arabic typeset, Arial Black, Arial Narrow.
This is the one I want, so I press my Enter key.
Menu bar, print view, edit.
I now want to change the size of my font style, so I press Alt to the left of spacebar, H again, and FS this time for size.
Lower ribbon, font size colon edit. To move through the controls on this ribbon, use tab or shift tab.
Down arrow. Down arrow.
16, 1, 1, 20, 2, 22.
I'm going to select 22 and press Enter. Again, I would like to use Control and Home to go back to the top of the file. I want to have JAWS read down my text again. So it's, remember, insert down arrow.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the 2nd of February.
Now I would like to save the changes to this file again. So in other words, top it up for me please. So Control and S.
Control S.
Now I would like to close the file.
Control W.
So this concludes a quick look at using the font size and the font style from the ribbon, from the home ribbon on this little exercise. Thank you for watching and look out for the next video on using Microsoft Word 2010.